They aren't just nerds. They're nerd enthusiasts.
Show us how
I
they
think
figured
that
that out.
the MI6 chick is a Skrull.
They literally have all of the shit from all of the fights in one
some
location. Skrulls get in there. We're going to have more superpowered everything going on.
I like this intro.
Go ahead, give him the floor. The flush. That's right.
I feel like the Flash should be like a cult classic in that kind of way. Like down the line, people will come back to it and be like, you know what, it actually wasn't that bad. If you go back and rewatch it and don't really have any hope for anything beyond it, it's kind of, it was all right.
1 week later.
I'm trying to get us to talk about Flash, man. Let's get on best because I ain't.
Why are we going to talk about crap again?
What was the point, man? Of the Flash? I mean, like, what was the point?
And
They wasted such a great storyline, though, man. The Flashpoint? Come on.
Gotcha, bitch.
Hey, you think you feel like you did something there?
No, Scotty was making me nervous. He's like,
I was nervous. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
You feel like you did something with that? So I was trying to say that there was a little bit of hope for people to enjoy a movie that was clearly going to probably not be that great, right? And then we all realized
Here
that
comes the explainer.
It was just no, I didn't explain it. Then I double back because I watched it and I'm like, you know what, I'm wrong. So and it's like it's just hot garbage. You gonna give me shit for that? For correcting?
I didn't notice it until like
that's some chump shit right there, man.
I showed my wife the stream, and then we went back. I'm like, hold on. You know what? Now that I think about it, he was like all about it last week. Like, total 180. I'm like, and then
ladies and gentlemen, this will be the rest of our time together, just back and forth trying to kill each other for stupid shit.
All right,
Scotty ran away. Scotty ran away.
I'm here.
We're
I did not
live
know
now,
what to
I guess.
expect.
Scotty was like,
I was worried for you, Q. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried.
I should be appearing as Felicity's counterpart, the 12 of the pyramid. Oh, sorry, the holocron. I didn't mean to disrespect Star Wars fans like that.
You can't
we
disrespect
are
Star Wars
live.
fans any more than they
We are
disrespect themselves.
Live on Nerd Mafia channel, Nerd Enthusiast Edition.
I talked about doing the blooper reel on my channel. I'm gonna have to do one for this.
God damn it! Can I just intro the?
Let him do the intro.
Not tonight.
Run it back for the people.
You tried to drag me, motherfucker. We gonna be.
All right, one more time. Let's do this one more time. It's Nerd Mafia. Thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
I see you in the chat already. Daniel Fisher, Skywalker's Academy, and probably nobody else. But it's all good. Big news for the channel. We've hit 1,000 subscribers since the last time we talked, and about to hit those watch hours soon. So lots of fun shit coming your way. But tonight is the next edition of the Nerd Enthusiast broadcast, and we're gonna go over some goofy shit like we did with that intro. We're gonna talk about Indiana Jones. It's probably gonna get a little hostile. We're also
don't worry, Nikki. I haven't seen it either, but I'm down for the spoilers because I ain't wasting my time on that. And I ain't gonna say nothing mean because I respect Harrison Ford, but I ain't wasting my time on that.
Can you finish the intro?
Nah.
And then we're gonna talk about American Gladiators for some reason, apparently too.
That should have been the first thing on the docket. That shit was classic.
Right. We're also gonna talk a little bit about Secret Invasion. Ever heard of it? And yeah, that's what we're gonna do tonight. And if you don't like it, get the fuck out of here. All right, that's the way I feel.
All right, it was nice, y'all. I'm gonna go play some games because he told me to get the fuck out. So peace. No.
Later.
All right. So what's first? You know what we should do? We should get like a random like wheel going. And then I'll spin it on each person's name, and then like whoever wants to talk about like which topic, then you guys
You should get a mechanism where a hand can be raised. They have that on like. Don't they have that on?
What is this? Microsoft Teams? Like, what are we talking about right now?
They have it on Teams, right? Yeah. I knew that from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yo, also, I didn't know you hit 1K. Congratulations.
Yeah, I didn't either. I knew you were like around the corner, but damn, that's pretty big.
It's just because I hit it, it's all thanks to Spider-Man here. That one damn prediction I made.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say pause, but yeah, we'll continue.
All right, let's try this one more time.
All
What
right,
up, Lobo?
go ahead. Put it up. The Voss.
I'm referencing everything I'm talking about tonight is these animated Spider-Man movies. I don't know, like I owe homage, because they're how I got here, so I'm gonna respect them.
Hawk is
No, I'm good.
Hawk's gonna put jazz
can't
on
relate
now
to me.
in his office.
Got a little darker over there. Midnight Hawk.
Midnight Hawk. Oh, brown
It's
Hawk.
gonna
for a
start
second.
flying soon.
Oh, you guys lost power, Hawk?
Me? No.
Oh,
We are getting some thunderstorms over here.
what's Daniel
A
talking?
little crazy. But what do we want to talk about first? We want to fight about Indiana Jones. We want to straight up fight.
Well, let me ask her. Have you seen American Gladiators?
Yeah, of course I have, bro. Why
Okay.
do you always act like you're so much? You're turning 40. Quentin's turning 40 tomorrow. Congratulations.
I'm asking
to him
because
on being
I'm
old
asking
officially.
because, like you talking about.
Well,
you
I'm
said-
turning 38 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
but
I
you're
don't know
talking
why
like
you're like.
we're talking about American Gladiators for some reason. There's a damn documentary on Netflix that's damn good and it's funny as hell.
What's
It
the
actually is really good.
That's
I
why we're
enjoyed it.
talking about it.
What? See, this is where we diverge. Because I think
Hilarious.
Indiana Jones was good, and you guys think the
I think it was probably hilarious too. But
I mean, it was all right, but it was like how many episodes? It was 5 episodes, and where the hell was it going the whole time? It was just a little bit of nostalgia,
it was
kind of like
I mean,
Indiana
that's the
Jones,
point,
but a
though.
better story with Indiana.
Nah,
It kind
it
of told me
wasn't-
everything I already
nah,
knew to be
nah,
true.
Nah, it wasn't a better story
Exactly.
than American Gladiator story. That shit was hilarious, bro.
Bro, you want me to sum up these 5
Thanks,
episodes in like 30 seconds?
Sure, go ahead.
A bunch of former athletes and
Uh-huh.
bodybuilders get hired onto a show, sign a shitty contract, and
Yeah.
6 years later it's over.
Yeah, but they also have a shit ton
and
of
some
hilarious
But it came
stories,
back and Gina Carano was on that shit.
That she was, yeah.
Just saying.
But people don't like her.
I'm just
so
saying.
Her.
It was
So
so
you had
good
to
I
beat
didn't even
that out.
realize it.
We're gonna beep that out on the replay. We can't say the name because people gonna come for us. They don't like it, you know.
I don't want to get too political.
Oh shit, that's political.
There isn't anything political.
Oh my god. Thanks,
I can
y'all.
see-
Gina is
You
not
should do like a modern-
She was.
She should be the next Xena, warrior princess, I think.
I would watch it.
Bro.
I would watch
I
that
probably
movie.
wouldn't because I didn't watch the first one.
Get the fuck out of here. How
He's
old
too
are you?
young. He's too young.
I knew it was
No.
on. I knew that.
Doesn't even know who
Hercules was
Corso
on.
is.
I didn't care.
Corso.
You know
Is
what?
that right?
See,
Corso. Kevin
you know,
Corso.
I'm not
right?
gonna say that I'm wrong. You know, Skywalker's
Sorbo.
Academy. Maybe it's a
Sorbo.
great movie. Like you enjoyed it, right?
It really is a good movie, man.
Felicity, I'm not sure if she enjoyed it. Did you see the movie Hawk?
Are we
I-
getting on task now? We're talking about Indiana
Yeah,
Jones.
we're getting on task.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did see it.
Okay, all right. I'm the only one that didn't. Okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's see.
So
Okay.
look, you go
Yeah.
through this movie. I'll get brutally attacked after this by Felicity, but I'll still be standing.
Ain't
But-
nobody gonna attack you, man. Come on.
Honestly, we
No.
go through.
You talking like you the bastard child or some shit like that. Give me your opinion. Be a
They're all
man.
coming for me. They're all coming for me.
Your
But
channel is under attack.
honestly, it's
Somehow he
This-
returned.
this movie felt more like way more of an indie movie than Island of Crystal Skulls did, or whatever the hell that movie. I don't even care about that
Okay.
movie. The beginning of it, even with the de-aging, it was 100% accurate, like looking amazing. No, because it's newer. Like nobody's mastered that yet completely, but it was awesome because I got to like just basically go into a time machine and hang out with like one of my favorite characters when I was a little kid for a little while. I was a little bit sad because at the end of the movie, you just realize like, wow, Harrison Ford's not going to be alive forever. Like the
I
new
kind
Betty
of feel
White.
like
Or Betty
let me,
White.
so let me ask you while you're on that point, like the de-aging in the movie that you just saw versus the de-aging that you saw in Secret Invasion with Nick Fury, right? Which one do you think was better?
Well, it's not
You had to
fair.
agree. What do you mean it's not
Because-
fair?
Well, you're talking about maybe what, like a minute of Samuel Jackson versus like 25, 30 minutes of Harrison Ford.
That's how much of
And
the
you're talking
de-aging?
about.
That's how
You're
much
also
you're talking-
talking about
Yes.
television versus.
Dear God.
Yeah,
There's a kid on
they
YouTube that did the de-aging on Harrison Ford while he was doing an
they-
interview, and
they
it
hired
looks
him.
so much
No.
better.
I think they hired him.
It looks so much better. No, not Shamook. This is like,
Okay.
I think it might be like a 17-year-old kid.
Interesting.
You know, maybe I'll have to try to find the link. But the de-aging or the deep faking, you know, that kid did was way better than what was happening in the movie.
That's
And
curious.
That shouldn't be.
I actually like this is something that's been super fascinating to me because I knew Shamook before he got supposedly hired at ILM.
Mm-hmm.
As it true, who is someone who shows up on Jason Ward's channel, and he has actually had leaks about the video games that have come true, said that Shamook's actually no longer working at ILM. So
I wonder if he
Yeah,
like
the
did he get
AI
another
technology that they're using, I'm not sure, but I know the AI that Disney and Lucasfilm are using now is actually the in-house stuff. So this indie stuff should be stuff we see going forward with potentially Luke Skywalker or otherwise. But it is
one
actually,
thing about ILM is that they always will take, even if they're not like the inventors or something, they will take whatever I guess it started as and try to push it, right? Like they're the ones responsible for what?
Well, and
Liquid T2 and Terminator 2 back in the day.
Not for nothing, this is like the new frontier of effects.
It is.
Everybody is going to be trying to perfect the AI aspect, and you really like all Shamook did was develop a program that can analyze and feed video, photo, every photo that was ever generated of Mark Hamill. Like you guys can go back on YouTube on his channel and actually watch how he makes this stuff. So as more sophisticated that the computers become, like we're going to see some crazy shit.
It doesn't sound like that was very easy for him to do. I mean,
it's hours of analysis.
Yeah, it sounds like he put a lot of work to do that. There's no need to deep fake actors DH, I suppose.
I am not trying to sound like a shill, but I loved the look of the young Indy. I grew up on Temple of Doom, and that was the face. Like I'm sure they used a majority of that film for that character.
Honestly, like
I want to watch it now, just so I can see the de-aging, because I didn't know there was that much of him.
Of course, I would like the least favorite of all the movies for most people, but that's me.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's
favorite one.
Temple of Doom is rated not high on a lot of people's lists.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's right above Christmas.
It was probably the dude's heart getting pulled out. I was a little kid; it affected me the most. I don't know.
I thought
and the other the steamroll, like the dude got flattened out by the fucking thing.
Yeah,
the scarf.
Yeah. I feel like the de-aging is starting to become a crutch for certain.
Agreed.
Studios.
Because
I'm just being honest. Like
what
I'm
we see.
Kind of getting tired of it. Really, a little bit. Like
it doesn't work.
Say it again. Sorry.
It doesn't work. Just cast a younger person to play the role.
Why not?
Do you think that would work though, Felicity? Would you accept like a Sebastian Stan if we got young Luke Skywalker?
Yes. No. That look. Just because
I would take the dude
Kathleen
who
Kennedy
played
wanted
him.
to use that as a crutch.
Yeah.
So do you think
Solo failed? Doesn't mean that it's
you think it failed because of what? Though?
Accepted.
The story overall for Solo. Because I just feel like people didn't accept him. I feel like people didn't accept him as a replacement, and I don't think people would accept Sebastian Stan as a replacement.
I don't think Sebastian Stan,
as much as we say we would, if the story is not a fucking 12 out of 10, like people won't. Even if Sebastian Stan,
they already got a dude for him. They don't need Sebastian Stan. The dude who played him, right? The guy who's a stand-in.
No one's gonna accept a nobody.
I would. He looks just like Mark Hamill when he was a young dude.
Even like an actor?
Why would I want somebody else? He looks just like Mark Hamill. What's the point in putting Mark Hamill's face on him? You're just tweaking his face a tiny bit.
I'm talking about like the overall fandom though. Like that shit would never happen. I don't think people would even accept Sebastian.
Scotty, do you think that the fandom is happy with what's going on right now?
They'd be fine.
No, but you think that going to the furthest of the extremes is what fans want?
It was unquestionably better than.
I want something better than what we had.
That comes down to writing, though, I think, not effects.
Yes. Talent. They haven't been hiring for talent.
Trinity, you're talking
There's a talent that can come in to replace Mark Hamill. I don't think so. I don't think the fans would, but I don't think that fans would replace. I don't think fans would respect any talent that came in to try to redo that role. There's like this, and maybe it's just me because I'm on the far spectrum of the sequels. But those George Lucas purists, like those people,
I'll tell you that they will, and I'm gonna tell you why. Doctor Who.
Yep, exactly.
Doctor
Perfect.
Who.
That is the perfect example.
Huh?
There's so many different faces of Doctor Who, and I'm gonna tell you this: each version of Doctor Who, you'll find like a good billion fans of that one particular face. Even if the
That's like-
previous ones hate the new face or the new faces moving forward and hate where it ends up or where it is now,
It's
they
the
will
story.
always go back to
Sure,
the
but-
face that
Accept
they
the
love,
story.
right?
But I
So,
can
and we're not
immediately
talking
shoot that
about-
down because the transformation of that character is written into the story.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
That's fine. But we're not
Right,
talking
so it's
about a
acceptable
character
by
that
the
was-
fandom because
Right.
that is something that is part of that universe.
But here's why it would work.
It's not
and
a
why
good
it would work with the
counter.
guy that I'm talking about, because we already kind of sort of see him in between the deepfake stuff, right? So it wouldn't feel that off to see him there, and he could be coached and directed into being a great.
But there's
Luke.
no
And over
there's
time,
no
hold on, man,
recognizable
hold on, man.
transition between a young Luke and an old Luke. It's young
There
Mark
is.
Hamill and
He
it's
looks-
old Mark Hamill.
He looks like young Mark Hamill. Go look at him. Pull up his picture. He looks just like Mark Hamill. Well enough
So
that
does
I would be
Sebastian
like,
Stan.
no, he looks like
Like-
more like Mark Hamill than Sebastian Stan does to me. He really does. Like,
If
I
you
would
think
watch
that
the dude
Star
and it'd
Wars
be
is
fine.
ready for that kind of an extreme
I think they
story
are.
with a
I
new
think they
face,
are. They might
I
as well. And here's
fucking
another
agree.
reason why they should, because Mark Hamill is tired. Dude needs. He's like,
well,
he's
for
like, I need-
sure.
he's like, I want to take a nap. Fuck these movies. That's what he's
You're not
saying.
going to replace him, though. You're not.
He have to. You either drop
It's not
him
gonna
his
happen.
character completely, or you move on. Because one day, guess what? Like, I hate to talk like that, but that's going to be the option that they have to do anyway, right? You gotta have to set yourself up to move. If you want the
can we
character
pull
to be
this?
there,
Can we
for,
pull
like,
this for real? It's crazy that like Nikki's on board too. Like, I don't think the greater Star Wars fandom would accept a recast.
I think they.
Am I
but we're
really the
10
only
years
one in
It's
this
hard,
room right now?
It's hard for you to even say that because
Yeah.
look at where we are as a fandom. We all fucking hate KK at this point. There's no everybody hates her, but she's still
Yeah, it doesn't look like him
there
at all.
doing the bullshit that she's
I don't
doing.
think that that's like 100% Sebastian Stan a little bit. I think it was a little bit manipulated, but because those eyes look too similar.
The most acceptable thing, I think, what they should do
No,
is
I don't
full
buy that.
CGI, full animation, Mark Hamill voices. Do
Mm.
whatever you want. Like what
Well, they
Chillmonger's
can do that already. They have the
getting at.
AI ability.
voice acting
to-
all day.
the AI can do that though already with the voice, right? That's
Yeah.
already something they have the ability to do. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily outside of the realm of possibility of having the guy who's the stand-in actor now be him, right? Because his voice could still be there. They don't need to ADR with Mark Hamill. They could actually literally take his recording and be like run it through the AI, and AI can make it sound like Mark Hamill.
That's what I'm saying though, is whatever you have to do to make that shit look like and
That would
sound
be your
like
ease in
Mark Hamill,
transition,
that's
right?
going to be the only acceptable thing
Yeah.
that people.
Yeah, that would be your ease in
I
transition.
hope we get it, man. Like I want the young. Everybody wants Luke at the height of his power. If we get a full CGI like
Yeah.
embodiment of Mark Hamill voiced by Mark Hamill, I think this indie stuff is just like that was half the movie. Am I
Nice.
wrong? Am
You
I
think
wrong that
you
like
think
the
that's
young
what comes
indie
after
was
Bad
half
Batch?
the movie?
Maybe.
I mean, they could have. Why didn't they work on his voice? It was 80-year-old Harrison Ford's voice coming out of a 40-year-old version.
That's the other thing. Too.
I
I didn't
wonder-
notice that as much in the Luke scenes, but
I
yeah,
wonder if he had a clause in his contract that said that he did not want his voice manipulated by artificial intelligence. Because I can imagine that some people may not want that to be a thing. I
I
wouldn't
noticed
want
it. I just
Harrison
didn't
made
care.
20 million off this movie, so I mean,
Yeah. I mean, still using his imagery is fine, right? But he probably there's something about going all in that just feels weird. Like I would never want to go all in with it myself. You know, it just feels like 100%. Nah, Luke sucks. Move on.
yeah, Anakin is way better.
Trinity, they had a chance with this. They had the Solo kid. They decided to turn him like just pure evil from the get-go and just not let him be like some positive character to just pick up the torch. They had the vehicle from the start. They just decided not to run with it. It was
Yeah,
like
bottom
30
line, go see Indy.
30 minutes.
Yeah, we just went off.
no,
on
don't go
Star
see
Wars.
it. Don't go see it.
But
Yeah,
that was all,
we
that was
talk
all
about
pretty
Indy
connected.
again?
I don't think that was like too much of a side rant or anything. That was all connected.
The
You know? Yeah.
de-aging
Yeah.
was relevant.
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
feel
see
I
like
gave
he
that
was
movie a
tracked
6 out of
sometimes.
10. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible as I thought it was going to be. It was too fucking long. You know, how do you manage to make Mads Mikkelsen and Antonio Banderas so fucking generic?
That's
That
hard,
I mean,
man.
anybody could have played their roles. They were not memorable in this movie at all. I just didn't understand that part. Uh, you know, as far
As
as the
Mikkelsen
story,
wasn't memorable.
no, he was a generic villain. It
He
was like they tried to
almost
make a milk toast version of his James Bond, villain that he played.
wasn't his goal to go back and like the uprise of the N party. We can't
He
say that
wanted
word
to
on
be the
YouTube.
Fuhrer instead of Hitler. That's
Yeah.
what he wanted to make
Oh,
happen.
he was gonna go train. Oh, so
So he's gonna go back in time and do it right. Make sure they won.
Oh, okay, God, this is a.
He's
time
gonna make
travel
sure
story.
that they won that fight.
They
No, it's
win the
not.
war and
It's not, though.
It's complicated.
It's not.
I-
Oh, okay.
Can we talk
So
about
it's
the end?
it's a flashback. Okay, gotcha.
No, don't do it. They'll kill
Alright.
for Quentin.
No, I'm
Wait,
killing.
let him go
I
see it.
don't give a shit, man. Talk it out.
Nah, I don't like doing that. Even though you say
Yeah,
yeah,
and-
you're weird for that.
I'm asking for
You
it.
know what?
Dude,
I gotta mention.
I thought we
You
were
mentioned
working,
that before we got on here
Mm.
about people not complaining about the female
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Oh
He did
no,
say
that's
that.
not what I'm hearing at all.
No,
thought
what
she
I
was.
said was if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes, it wasn't
Yeah.
bombed like it was for Brie Larson, and it wasn't bombed like it was for every other female character role we've seen. And that's true.
Oh,
It's
look,
sitting at 88%. But you said
I
that just
mean-
works in your favor. Like, yeah, because that's exactly what I'm pointing out.
Okay, 88% of the very few people that actually went to the movie. Okay,
Hmm.
thank you. That makes a lot
2,500
of
people,
sense.
and all the other movies where they really didn't like the female role, they went and bombed it with like millions of people. And they didn't do that here.
No,
Okay,
I am
I'm
saying-
don't say bombed. Don't
what
say
I'm
bombed
saying-
because that look.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes, when that shit went down with Captain Marvel, they changed the whole way that they do things. They manipulated the numbers, and I'm sure they manipulated these numbers. The critics.
All right.
Say that again with what?
Show your
Sorry.
camera real quick so I can see that tinfoil hat. Felicity,
No.
like
What movie were you referring to with Rotten Tomatoes, though?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
How did they do it?
they came.
How did
in
they
and just-
manipulate things?
Yeah,
Are you asking her?
Oh, they started.
I'm
doing
asking
the-
Felicity how they manipulated things.
Oh, they went in and started, doing like, oh, it's got to be verified and all this other, bullshit that they started doing after that movie.
The only thing I remember Rotten Tomatoes doing
Pretty
is
recent.
putting a hold on reviews, 48 hours,
Hmm.
72 hours, in order for a majority of people to see it, because the critics are the ones that get to see it first.
Cocaine's
So-
a hell of a drug.
They ain't doing that no
They
more.
did. They put a 72-hour freeze on.
Looking at the box office numbers and saying that that's a win. Okay, go
Huh?
ahead.
Okay.
Call it a win.
No, what I'm saying is
you're
forgot
moving the
the point
field
I
goal
was-
post now.
I
yeah,
forgot
what
the
I'm
point I
saying
wanted
is
to
you're going
make
to take
now.
the
Yeah,
critics'
yeah.
words over the audience, right?
Yeah.
That's what you favor the critics over the audience, Felicity?
I don't think that's what
No,
she's
I
saying.
watched the fucking movie myself, and I don't agree with Rotten Tomatoes score.
But you say that they've manipulated the score. So what if they didn't and it agreed with your score? Like, that's what I'm trying to get at is like, are you upset that the critics get to vote first? Or are you upset that like they pause it so that everybody gets to vote at the same time? Because I prefer when they manipulate it so that there is no fucking rating until after a majority of people get to see it. And I think that's what happened with Miss Marvel. That's why it got so positively reviewed. And they've been doing that with other things. But people are review bombing things on Rotten Tomatoes. You can't
Wait, are they
deny
picking
that.
the
That's
Okay,
a fact.
Everyone to do
review
that?
bombing in the positive or the negative?
Negative. That's why it's called bombing. And that's why they do these things like this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's why they do it specifically.
So,
Wait,
so
but it
you're
sounds like you're
saying that a
saying-
person that paid their money to go see a movie
Mhm.
shouldn't be allowed to give a positive or a negative review? They
When
should
you
be
look
able
at
to
the
choose which one
comments,
they
I
do?
am
literally just
saying
complaining
that-
about the female actress. Every single comment. There's clearly an intention there.
So what they're saying
There
is
is
that there can't be a
clearly
large number
Yes,
of
reviews
the
people.
coming-
paid conspiracy against Brie Larson.
I was going to say is that so what
That's
it sounds like
not
you're saying is that there
just
can't
a
be a
good
large
fact.
number of people who disagree with the casting. For that
no,
particular
it's
thing.
really what it comes down
'Cause,
to.
I mean,
is
I
that
remember when
Rotten
Heimdall was
Tomatoes-
casted by with Idris Idris, right? There was a big backlash, and there was
Lobo
a
is
shit
hitting it
ton
right
of,
now.
there was a shit ton of comments about that, and those were like real comments. They did not like that Idris was Heimdall because traditionally Heimdall's a white dude, right? So that was a possibility to happen with that character, right? That was actually realistic. So I think that there's a chance for there to be a casting of a female at some point that I guess a large group of people would be unhappy with, and also have an equal amount of backlash in public. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying like it's also not too hard to believe that it could be actually something that happened. You know,
Lobo in chat is on task to what I'm talking about. It's the fact that a majority of people get to see the film. His next comment.
Yeah, but I'm speaking to
that's why they pause that shit is because so the critics, we're gonna take the critics' word because they're the only ones that get to review these things early.
I don't take their word for nothing, you know.
And no, you shouldn't, especially when they serve them alcohol before they show them the movie.
Yeah, I could care less about the critics' score.
Yeah, nobody cares about what the critics say, you know. But I don't trust. Well,
we're criticizing Rotten Tomatoes. That's why I was bringing that up.
I mean, but you might tell me that Indy's good, right? And then I go see Indy and might be like, "What the hell are you smoking when you watch this movie?" You know, that could still be the case. I got to go see it for myself.
I've seen some weird ass comments.
People your purchase to leave reviews. Oh, I see what you're saying. Got you. Okay, so if you don't have your receipt, you can't leave a review. That's what.
Yeah, you can.
Well, if you buy through like Fandango, then you know you're allowed to do your worst.
Huh. You don't have to prove you purchased to do it.
Yeah, that's why it's called a verified review, because you show that you had an actual movie ticket.
I mean, Nikki's basically making the same point that I made, but it's like, you know, it's just hard to, I don't know. I think that we're in a time period where everyone is like just tired of negativity in general. So it's hard for people to accept something that's not like clear praise of something at some point, you know. There's a big, I don't know. From my perspective, there's a big movement for that in society. But I mean, I could be, again, the way I look at the world is different than a lot of people. So it's.
Okay, can we go back to Indy real quick about this this female character, Miss Phoebe Waller-Bridge? I thought she was awful.
Yeah.
You know, I started calling her Miss Naughty Too Hottie.
I will say that there are people who like her a lot, but I will say, and this is the point I wanted to actually add earlier, on Twitter. I don't know about review bombing, but on Twitter I saw a lot of people voicing that they didn't like the character. That's what I saw. I didn't see it on.
I thought she was awful. She was a jackass. You know, she had to turn around in the end. You know, for me, maybe it was a little bit more believable, her turnaround, than maybe some people have said. Okay. But I just don't think that she fits in the movie as the goddaughter. Look, you've got 80-year-old Harrison Ford, which is fine for me. But if you want the guys to actually come to this movie, you need somebody hot. You need somebody hot. And I hate to be that person. Yes, I'm the woman on the panel, and I'm saying this. Get Haley Atwell in that movie. And I think that the box office numbers would have looked so much different.
Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, she would have looked pretty good in an indie movie. She probably would have.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue against Haley Atwell in any movie, but at the same time, like you look at the promotion for this, the dumbass way of bringing this out, rolling this out at cons, like you have that type of movie. It's not that type of movie. If you're an indie fan, you're going to like this movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's obviously outliers, but they just the word of mouth going into this movie's opening weekend was that it wasn't good, and that's just not true. So I think that I'm predicting you're not going to see as terrible a drop off the second weekend, and people going to see it that enjoyed it are going to tell other people that it wasn't that bad. I really think that the longer they keep this movie in theaters, the more catch-ups it's going to do. It might not go nuts, but I think it can catch up.
I will say shout out to her though. She's killing it in Hollywood, man. Killing Eve, she's got a big role to play in that show and their success. You know, Fleabag was pretty big for her as well. So, you know, I think she's
You're not going to see very much of her after this.
I don't know. I don't think she's
supposed to be Lara Croft.
Is she?
I believe it's Amazon. No, I don't think she's going to be Lara Croft. I think she's actually going to be the showrunner or something, you know, like that.
Yeah.
But I
like her more in that role.
We're not going to see her very much after this.
Yeah, she's good. She's good with running shows though. Killing Eve was If you guys haven't watched Killing Eve, I'd highly recommend seeing that. It's worth the watch.
Skywalker's Academy.
I like Jodie Comer. I might have to check it out. I like what's her name, Sandra.
Yeah,
that
Sandra
plays the
Oh is
other
a great
character.
actress. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. I'm surprised I haven't checked it out yet.
Skywalker's Academy got a point, like about her role. It could have been. I don't know. It was like harder to. Maybe if you got into more of her backstory instead of her just showing up on.
Hey, Hulk, that's not what I was trying to say at all, man.
Better, but
no, I'm just pointing. I'm making my point is all
an observation that, from my perspective, and I don't talk a lot on social media. I do talk. I try to like chime in every now and then, but from my perspective, what I just see is generally, even if there is a person who like dislikes something, and it's like a genuine dislike, now they're getting talked down to about it because they don't like.
No,
it.
and
like,
so here's the thing too that
I don't like cheese. I don't like the yellow cheese. Give me the, you know what I mean.
I'm also agreeing with what Nikki is saying, and the way that I can put this into an analogy, and I think that sometimes people agree with me when I do stuff like this, is momentum stocks.
Mm-hmm.
So like when everyone is like, "Oh fuck, AMC theaters blowing up. Let me go invest in this stock."
Yeah, no, I don't.
That is fake shit. So again. Like you can push a narrative positively, just like in a momentum stock, and you can push a narrative negatively, like review bombing. That is not fake news. That shit happens.
Okay, but it also happens the other way.
Don't go onto the website because it's open and make a review, even though they haven't seen the movie.
It happens the other way as well.
Right.
All right. I'm going to make a suggestion. If Felicity has to wear a Tim hat,
I don't want the websites to allow it to be positively pushed. I'm not saying
we don't know.
Okay,
I just asked her. Let me see it.
I'm not saying that it's okay for them to allow the positive push to go through either. I'm just saying that I agree when they put delays on reviews, let everybody see the fucking film and let the audience review. I trust audience reviews. Period.
Scotty's making a good point. That, like, there are people I've seen do that too. There are people on Twitter who just like bandwagon complainers,
right?
And also bandwagon praisers. Both sides of the scale. Listen, extremes exist everywhere, good and bad. You can't skirt around that shit.
So I think it's
right,
cool.
but you also have to admit that there is more of a financial advantage. To people to pay people to do positive reviews than to say that there's a conspiracy to review bomb a film. Nobody's getting paid to review bomb a film. I don't believe that.
But people also on the other side are like, these people are getting paid to put positive reviews on there. So
here's why I agree that's probably happening, and this is why this is viable. This is like real information, right? There's a guy who's a rapper who knows he's not going to be a superstar. These are his words, right? There's an interview that you can go and watch where he's like describing to two people who are also entrepreneurs, I take it, in the music industry, where he talks about using bots in a particular way so that he can get more streams on Spotify. And he does it in a way where like he doesn't get flagged for it. He runs each bot at a specific like number of streams at a certain time of day. There's a bunch of it's got to be like hundreds and hundreds of bots, right? To get this to work, right? You know?
Oh, we're talking about Slender?
I don't know. No. I'm talking about a rapper who uses to like he's bringing in like a certain amount of like maybe like five figures a month, like from just streaming like stuff, right? Because of the bots. It's not outside the possibility that people are using bots to do the same thing for either review bombing in a positive way or a negative way. And I totally think that should exist. And there are people who probably make a career out of offering that service. You know, we're in the age of AI. You know what I mean? Makes
money from making sure a movie doesn't make money. I think that's a little bit harder to. That's a little bit harder to.
That's different. Then in that case, I would say that could be a fandom that's just angry that would like to just
they're putting out their opinion, which I think is totally valid. Even if you haven't seen the movie and you just want to say, I think this movie is going to suck. Yeah. Okay, fine.
I heard one person go on Twitter and say that. Well, I didn't hear it. I read it. They said that that Indy got the Last Jedi treatment. I thought that was.
I did see that too. Yeah.
Like that made no sense.
I gotta push back on that.
Like you didn't get like an Indiana Jones that like was making no sense. Like dude was just old, like flat out. Like and he still like jumped right back in action. So I don't know what the hell that was all about.
Wait, it proves that people.
I think I probably agree with I don't think he was jaked as bad as Jake was, but I think that there's something valid there. The whole spoilers sequence in with Archimedes, um, that was just weird. That was just weird for him to be saying, "Oh yeah, just leave me here."
Nikki, this is what happens when grown folks talk to each other.
Really?
But you look at the point in like his like where he's at. At this point, like with like who he's got for family. I'm trying not to give this all away for Quentin, but you look at like where the point in his life he's at.
Talk, man. I'm gonna watch it for myself. It ain't no.
It's not like somebody like asked him for help, and he's like, "No, sorry, I'm staying here. Screw the whip." You know, like fuck archaeology. Like he was like doing anything weird like that. He was just like, all right, fuck it, just let me go. You know, that's the way I took it
anyway. All right, moving on. Secret Skrulls. What is that? Brings me
to my next point.
I'm Ricky Bobby. If you don't chew
Matt Cave Gaming,
then you.
Okay,
that's a fact. All right, get over to Matt Cave Gaming.
It could be like a regular advertisement.
Yeah. Try and get this dude monetized. You go over there, you get him his 1,000 subscription, and if you don't, then you're a terrible person, and you should probably listen to Michelle McLaughlin by yourself and cry. Okay? Is it Michelle?
You mean Sarah McLaughlin?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna get demonetized.
Don't care.
Content ID's coming for you. Wait, I'm the mod there. I've seen shit that they said. Dude, that doesn't make it. What?
Shocker.
Yeah. So you're saying that so people just want to like wait, Sarah wait, what?
Yeah,
you may be right.
He ruined it.
Whatever, all right? I did my best.
Chill in the house is correct. The trolls hated and made money.
So bottom line, look, if you like the movie, fine. If you didn't like the movie, fine. I wasn't a indie fan going into it. Maybe if you have more of an investment, then you'll like the movie. But I have my issues.
We're not going to talk about the movie? We're not going to spoil and talk about the movie?
I thought we talked about a lot of it, but
what else? I was holding back. I didn't want to completely.
We didn't talk about anything, bro.
What else would you like to talk about? Go ahead. You have.
Are we spoiling? Because
spill the milk, babe. Come on, spill the milk all over the kitchen floor, baby. Let's go.
I will.
Wait, hold on. First, Q, are you like a big Andy fan? Like the past, like you love the old Andy movies?
You know, I mean, truth be told, I'm not the biggest fan of anything, to be honest with you. I just enjoy content in general. Right?
Spoil the movie.
I'm just being honest with you because, like, I'll watch something even if I hate it and be like, you know what, I didn't hate wasting time on this because it was X kind of content, right? But I will have opinions about it. I'm not gonna be like that wasn't shit or like
his agnosticity just deserves.
The movie was better than The Flash. Okay.
Well, there you go. Then I'll go see it.
That's not a high part of it.
I actually think this indie movie in the years to come may have a cult following. Oh,
God damn it. Oof. I got a full tank of gas right now.
All those callbacks,
Go for a ride after the stream.
I didn't even realize I made that face to you when you said that live. I was looking up like.
I know. I saw that and I was like, "This motherfucker."
All right, go ahead, Hawk. Go nuts.
All right, so I just want to talk about the end because I actually thought that it was kind of cool. Okay. The Yahtzee guy messes up and thinks they're going to go back to a specific time that they don't go back to. They end up going back to like 216 BC. It's the Romans invading the capital of Syracuse.
Bro, you just jumped right to the end of the movie. You're like, fuck it.
That's what I want to talk about. Like, I want to talk about the Dial of Destiny. If you guys don't want to talk about that shit, then tell me to shut up. Like,
I don't know spoilers. Spoil it. Like,
hey,
wait,
spoilers.
Is it actual time travel?
Shitty movie that no one wants to see.
Yes, like they were denying the whole time. Oh no, it's not. It's not time travel. No,
so it's time travel. Now I want to see the fucking movie.
Yeah,
I asked you for time travel.
The deal is like the dial is like split in two. They're basically they're searching for both sides the whole movie. I'm gonna let you get back at it, Hawk. I'm just gonna give you some lead up. You
You're supposed to be Hulk got the floor. He's got this.
And then
Literally, Steve, it's F you.
He's like in the beginning, Indy finds the first half of it, gives it to his boy that we never met, I don't think, until this movie. And then he holds on to it, goes a little nuts.
He's the Watson of the
obsessed with it. And he determines like the dates that he believes it would take you back to. Like the dial will create detect fissures in time to bring you back to certain dates. And the whole movie set around Moon Day, so it's after we've already landed on the moon, the astronauts come home. So it's like 8:30, 1969. They believe it will take you back to 8:30, 1939. And that's why this German scientist, like basically a Project Paperclip dude, that they're trying to make him kind of like a generic Werner von Braun.
Yeah.
He's basically
the generic Mads Mikkelsen character that I was talking about earlier.
Felicity, there's only so many ways to play a Nazi. All right,
okay, don't put him in a movie.
Not everybody can be Red Skull.
Yeah, as long as Indy punched him in the face, we're happy. But and he does multiple times. So basically, like Indy, the whole sequence of events is Indy and this dude's daughter, his goddaughter, keep finding the pieces. Other dudes keep catching up to them, getting it to them. They put it together. And then they get in a plane and end up finding the fissure that the dial detects, and then go ahead and take away.
Yeah, so it's a cloud they fly through. They come out on the other side, and immediately on the other side of it, Indy's like, "Yo, you're an idiot. You fucked up. Like it doesn't go to where you thought it was. It took us to 216 BC. You dumbass. Whatever." That
plane, part was funny. I have to say
that shit was amazing. Like so. The plane crashed. Like, guys, I am spoiling the film because this was my favorite. The plane is flying over the Battle of Syracuse, and the Romans are in their ships. There's catapults flying and shit. There's a Roman soldier looking up, and this guy comes into play later on. He like is a problem because he's like, "There's a fucking plane. What are these aliens right now?" Archimedes himself sees the plane. He's like, "Hold up!" Runs back into his little shop. Clears these papers away. The dial is on his desk in pieces. He's like, "I need a horse. Get me a fucking horse." So him and his homies ride on a horse.
Not just the dial, but didn't he also did he pick it up later? The watch. I think that was later when he picked it up.
So let him he's on the horse and they're chasing the plane down. The Nazi plane gets shot down by like the actual arrows. Like metal arrows that the Romans are using. They pierce the plane.
Because they're flying low, they don't know what the hell to do. Like
it crashes. Archimedes and his apprentice roll up. They find the Nazi bodies. That's where he finds the watch. And earlier in the film, you see Archimedes' body in the grave, and he's wearing a fucking watch. And you're like, where'd that come from? So here's where he found it.
Yeah, we're all assuming that Archimedes has been like time traveling.
Right. So his apprentice finds the completed dial and literally hands it to him, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
But, so he hasn't been? All right, yeah, I need to see him.
Right. No, so he hasn't been, but the Nazis came back into his time and he kept the watch the whole time as like, this is proof that my dial works. Yeah.
He basically he created the dial to ask for help.
See, I said Doctor Who for a reason.
The really cool part for me was that the dial is actually not time travel. It was meant to bring him back to that time only. Like it was a device that could only that part confused me. So maybe I'm getting that wrong.
It is time travel. They moved from one time to another in a plane, and they were traveling in the plane. How is that not time
Why
travel?
did Archimedes build it if it could only bring him back to that?
Because it was a call for help for him. Because his army was about to lose to the Romans. So he was reaching out to the future, basically. That's why he buried half of it with himself.
Did someone physically leave one time period to go to another, though?
Yes,
went back to
it's
the
time
past
travel.
with
I don't
the
care
dial.
what
Fucking
the
time
fuck
travel.
kind of bullshit you try to do. Jedi mind trick.
Literally, they went through time. I'm not saying they didn't.
Okay,
I never said
I was actually hoping they went to Germany. I thought that would have been awesome.
We got to rewatch this episode together because there's been a few times where you guys are like, no, it's not time.
Well, I was trying not to spoil it for you.
Just now, though. After
literally
now, I
go
know
back in time. I just said 216 BC. Like,
you literally just said it's not.
I just went on this whole 20-minute thing and I said back to the Battle of Syracuse, and Archimedes himself is there. Are you not paying attention?
We're arguing over what like the purpose of.
Does Archimedes live in the future?
I heard all that, but I also heard you say No, not that.
We're getting into what they thought it actually was. It wasn't.
And these
like
are
a
the
dial
people
where you could
who have
find
not
any
seen the
time.
film that are review bombing it.
I gotta tell you, this sounds like it's a sucky film. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a bad review.
I'm gonna do the
Okay.
Will
Oh,
Smith.
it's top 3 indie film.
You can't even say we're really spoiling it because honestly, the movie's
Literally
been
no one
known
listened to anything
for,
I just said.
like a year.
So
Listen, I'm
If
gonna go
it's,
see the
if it's an
film.
indie film and you're an indie fan, you're gonna like this movie.
I want to see Harrison Ford in the role again, which in what I would take it is the last time we'll see him in the role. I mean, there's also that question mark, but I think this is the last time he's going to be in the role. It's more like Sliders, sure. That's like parallel dimension traveling, I guess. But yeah, Temple of Doom.
Nah, not for me, man.
Wait, this
I'm
is your
weird
favorite
though. I
one?
like Last Crusade is my favorite one.
Oh, Last Crusade. Okay,
I
gotcha.
respect Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I just like Last Crusade better.
Anyway, that's rewinding days. What?
No, he's just trolling at this point. It's
Trollmonger.
fucking time travel, okay?
That's his
it was
alt
one
account.
time.
Trollmonger.
Yes, they traveled in a plane through a cloud and they ended up at a different time. It is time travel. It is
Bro,
like
that shit was like tailspin going to
quintessential
Pandrila,
time
whatever
travel.
the fuck.
Right.
Let's see. They also once poured
Pan-
water
Pandala?
from the Holy Grail onto somebody's stomach and popped a bullet out. So I mean, I don't
There's
know what we're
plenty of
complaining about
things.
here.
Yeah, there are plenty of things in this timeline that we could be like, what the fuck?
This is basically like these movies are what like National Treasure, The Mummy, everything got inspired by. You know, like it's if you can basically probably say you never watch indie, but you watch indie in some kind of way because they made. It's like saying I love Star Wars, but I hate Dune. It's like
Okay.
But Spice.
So did everyone get their fill of indie? Yeah, we good now?
They don't need to do anymore. They shouldn't have even done this one. There was no reason for this movie to
Proper send off, like
Unless
a
they bring
better
back
end
Shia
than
LaBeouf,
Crystal
I
Skull.
don't want it.
We should
I
watch
mean,
that music video.
Didn't he walk out of the church door, with his son there on the last movie? That's not a good send off.
No, it wasn't because they're like trying to make that dude out to be the next indie, and we put the kibosh on that in this movie. So
Did we?
Okay, it's instead we got Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the next indie. So yeah, good job.
no,
on
nobody
that one.
said she's the next indie. She didn't take his hat.
I listen, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I would still look at this from what I've heard, and I'll let you know if this changes after I see the movie. But the last Bond film, how there was like a 007, there was like a woman 007 that had taken over.
I still haven't watched it, and I'm a Bond fan. I'm a Daniel Craig fan, and I still haven't watched that movie.
It was a good movie. It's just like I didn't understand the point. Honestly, I really didn't understand it.
This is
This
a
is
way
a much better
ending.
ending.
Yeah.
Yo, and why the tired ass argument of like guys just can't get old? We're not allowed to get old and
hey man,
be
I said
depressed
at the
about
top
our
of this
lives
conversation,
anymore.
this de-aging
Did you know
thing
that?
is getting. I just listen. I said this de-aging thing is becoming like a bit of a crutch.
No, I'm saying like Harrison
doesn't wanna
Ford
see
can't
it?
just.
Yeah, I want to see
Harrison
it.
Ford just can't.
Yeah, we're not
be in his-
going de-aging.
No, I'm
We're
not talking
saying,
about
like,
that shit. I'm
the
talking about
treatment of
like
an old
why is
hero,
it such a
like-
bad thing that Indy lived this amazing adventurous life and in the end like is unfulfilled? Like why
Because
is that?
unless you got superhuman healing like Logan, then nobody gives a fuck, basically.
Bro,
That's what I'm
like
saying.
it's so a
No,
depressing
but-
ending
who
to
is
a hero.
arguing
Like
that?
I don't.
This
A
is-
lot
this-
of
that's a
people,
great
dude, they're
point,
putting
though.
him next to Luke Skywalker and Han
Yeah.
Solo. Like I'm so tired of that shit. It's still a good story, dude.
Look,
I mean, every story needs an ending, and we're
Maybe.
never going to get it on Star
Kinda
Wars.
is.
So
I
mean,
can
I'll take
understand
an
why
ending.
people felt like it was
Yeah.
similar to the Jake Skywalker situation.
For sure,
I
but,
can't
like-
totally come over to that side because I'm not a fan of the character. I am a Luke fan. So look, you can argue till you're blue in the face. He got jaked in that set of movies. I'm sorry, but with this one, I can't make the argument because I'm not invested in the character.
Right. I think
But
that.
yeah, but I'm telling you, somebody that is like he didn't. That was a natural like progressive to him.
And there's no
explained,
weird
made
time
sense.
jumps things going on, history we don't know about Indy. Like we know everything the dude's been through. Like stop doing this.
I
This
think
is
that,
so
I mean, the
annoying.
bottom line is nobody wanted to go see this.
I think
You know?
if you
Sure,
wanted
I
one
think
more
that's
send
kind of
off,
because of
Like it
the
if they want
last
to,
film.
That's fair. If
but
you wanted one more
nobody
send off, I
wanted
get
to
it.
see
But
it.
I think he got what he wanted in The Force Awakens, but then they kind of tarnished it a little bit by using his image again in The Rise of Skywalker. But he
I
got
love
the
that
ending.
scene. I
He-
hated that movie, but I love that scene.
He
with
got the
him.
ending that he wanted. He always wanted the
loved
ending,
it.
right? So I mean,
in the words of Harrison Ford, because they wrote the check.
no, I'm just saying
$20
he said he wanted to die. So like you're talking about in The Rise, like he wanted his death and he finally got it, right? But then so I imagine that he wanted to end India a certain way, and that's probably more so why he came back, not just to check. Unless we know he's got some money problems, but
and like,
Oh, wait a minute. So you saying that's the reason why people aren't going to see the film because it's a holiday weekend? This is a famous holiday weekend. What the hell are you talking about, Trinity? You trolling? You're really
Independence
trolling
Day
with this one.
famously came out during this holiday weekend years ago, and it like blew the box office away.
That was
Can't
just
say
a
much.
brilliant,
Yeah.
unbridled. You can't compete with
Yeah.
that movie.
Like, holy shit, man. They came out the gate with that marketing scheme. They're like, guess what? The aliens tried to rob us of Independence Day. Hell no. America.
To this day, it's like one of my favorite movies of all time.
The whole world said America. We got to kill the alien.
I have the speech from President. What's it? Freaking Bill Pullman's president.
Yeah, you remember the actor.
Whitmore. President Whitmore's speech on my phone. Like I love that. It gives me chills every time I hear it.
I wonder why Will Smith didn't go back for the sequel. I still wonder about that.
hey, kill him off
opportunity-
screen.
Okay, but you know what? There's a larger conversation here with this movie, with the industry, with Lucasfilm in particular. People are just not happy with their output. That's the bottom line. You can't come to any other conclusion based on the results that we've been getting.
Yeah, that's more of the cause. I feel like people have been wanting this movie to fail before it even came out. It's like Jesus. I don't know.
Nobody
definitely
wanted
agree.
Harrison Ford to fail. Nobody wanted James Mangold to fail. They wanted KK to fail.
I don't even want KK to fail. Like
That's where I get that's where I completely disconnect. Is like, why you want people that are creating the shit you love to fail?
Like,
Because she's not creating the shit I love. She's making.
So we're gonna
me
get
hate
worse
the shit that
content
she
before it
created.
gets better. Like, I
my
don't
perspective
fucking
on
want
that is this: like, if we've had so many failures, right? At this point, if she's still there and they re-signed her contract, right? The next thing that's coming out, I don't want to spend my time being like, oh, this is just gonna suck, or that I hate her. I'm be like, yo, I got my fingers crossed. Please be a hit. And if it sucks, it sucks, and I'm gonna complain about it. But like, man, whew. At this point, I don't think anybody's gonna save that shit.
when she came into Lucasfilm, she basically said she did not want the old fans.
Yeah.
And now she gets to her swan song of a movie, and the old fans are who she needed to put the shit over, and they didn't show up.
Yeah.
She deserves this shit.
Yeah, I think that it could. I don't think that she would do it. I don't know. I don't know if she has that much pull to be like, let's make a whole movie to be spiteful, But
we will not go quietly into the night.
But
we
maybe
will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on.
So now three of us have our tinfoil hats on.
Independence Day.
There you go. You got the speech. You gonna get that tatted on your back?
Well, I love it. It's like the best movie speech of all time. Like nothing beats that.
Next stream, we're gonna come back and he's gonna just have his shoulder blades. I got it on my left shoulder.
I'll clip 10 seconds of that. Throw that up. Love that. Love it.
Yeah, that was a great scene. Hello, boys. I'm back.
Oh no, that idiot. Whatever. But
people hate the volume that much. I thought the volume was innovative. You know what? It's not so.
We've seen it at its best and its worst.
I got a certain perspective though. So I worked as a compositor. So like I got like a kind of perspective thinking, oh, this would be great to work with because I have all the reflections and where I needed at. Like things look like they're actually in the right environment. I think a lot of the stuff with the volume has to do with like actually treating the footage color, like how they actually combine the elements more than like the fact that it's like a screen, right? Because it actually feels better to me than most. I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Aren't you gonna get copyrighted for that?
Probably.
It doesn't matter.
We'll pause it up a little bit.
I think Randy could
You will
actually.
be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
Oh God. I guess he's not gonna get stricken because I'm talking over it. So.
Bro, that's gonna be like our government in like 30 days.
Why do you say that? Because you think that there's about to reveal aliens?
For all of us today.
I mean,
Are we supposed to
aliens
get
don't
some
want
big
us.
announcement
They
this
got their
summer?
own problems.
Are we? Every 2 days, I see somebody. Every 2 days, I see somebody talking about like aliens.
Marco
from
Rubio, man.
the government, like for some reason now.
We
Like,
will be united in our common interests. Perhaps space. Today is the 4th of July.
Gotta let it go a little. We're almost there, though. We're almost at the heater. It is pouring out right now.
I want to say that I think you need to get some glasses, buddy. One of these things is not like the other.
And you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution.
All right, we getting back on schedule. What are we talking about here? What were we talking about?
Hey man, it's 4th of July tomorrow. You gotta let it.
Yo, so talking about 4th of July, it's also my birthday, right? Let's talk about America, American Gladiators. What a show! Just like pure American adrenaline just pumping through the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys see that documentary on Netflix? It's hilarious.
It was good.
The American Gladiators documentary.
Oh, yeah.
God, this dude.
1776, am I right?
Hulk's got like 48
Have
beers
fun working
already.
tomorrow, Brits.
They will be sipping
America.
tea in defiance. It'll be like, that'll be the thing on Twitter tomorrow. Oh God, here we go. I tried, chat. I tried to rear us back into the right direction. Oh, in 2005, yeah, they did do the reruns. It's kind of something weird to see in this day and age.
Freedom.
You gonna leave a tip?
What? We made it.
Obviously,
We
you
got
feel
through it.
refreshed after that.
I really do. So all
Okay.
the tingles are out. Whew. All right, so what are we talking about? American Gladiators?
Are we?
Oh,
American
Mars Attacks?
Gladiators. Yeah. No, I mean, it was good. To see. Yeah, I think it was Hawk that said earlier that it was basically a confirmation of stuff that we already knew.
Yeah.
That they were,
Wild.
juiced up and,
Yeah.
sex, drugs, rock and roll, all
Right.
that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see the humanity in some of them.
A lot of humanity
I mean,
in it, actually.
Yeah,
Was there any,
a
like-
lot of them
I didn't get
had
to
like
finish.
family issues and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And they were getting emotional about it. So it was good stuff.
Yeah, that one dude with this story about having to go to Mexico to get his steroids. I was like, wow, that's kind of risky, man. You're gonna go all the way to Mexico with a loaded handgun to get some roids over the counter just so you can come back.
But he got away. They let him off.
Something else happened there. I don't know.
What a story.
I feel like he left out some detail in that. That was too easy,
Well, I mean, I think that the cop that
Yeah.
had him recognized him as an American gladiator.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he did. Yeah, that's true. And what they did do is highlight something from that time period that stood out a lot for me when I was at that age. The roid rage, because a lot of professional wrestlers, there was a big lawsuit in the news, and there was all these these broadcasts about people having roid rage all of a sudden, and steroids, being really dangerous, and them trying to connect it to CTE and like these wrestlers dying fast and things like that. So seeing these American gladiators tell their side of performance enhancing drugs, whether it be actual steroids or what was the other one? Growth hormone is what they said they used alternatively.
The supplements.
Yeah. So they
Well,
wouldn't get
sometimes
tested.
can be just as bad.
Right. They said it didn't come up in tests and stuff. It's that's I don't know, man. It's like, damn, you go that far. You're willing to let all semblance of patience go in your life to have this image, man. That must be something. I don't know what that kind of energy feels like.
Were they even making like that kind of money? I feel
No,
like
they
the
weren't. That was the
president-
problem.
You're not making WWE money like that.
No,
They
shit
they
signed
weren't.
those shitty ass contracts. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, we're gonna be famous," and then they realized, "Oh shit, this money that they're making off the merchandise and
Yeah.
all these products and shit, and we're not getting any of it."
I look like
They're
an
making
asshole.
like
I'm beating up
5K an
soccer
episode,
moms.
and they signed a contract in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they couldn't negotiate, and they couldn't band together to negotiate because they're a bunch of idiots. I don't know.
You know who else had a similar shitty deal? But like this was real athleticism. But you remember those guys who played for the And One basketball league? You remember that? Where like
Yep.
And One shoes were kind of like taking over the
Yep.
shoe market, right? They were overcoming Nike for a time period. And they actually had a team of guys that had touring to go and like play like street ball against people and things right there, right?
Yep.
Those And One players. There was another documentary also on Netflix, I think, where they talk about the fact that they were superstars, just like these guys from American Gladiators. They were superstars. Like everybody knew who these people were. They had merchandise. They were moving numbers, right? They had
Bro,
value.
Escalade, the Professor,
These
AO.
motherfuckers had no
Come on.
money. They like
Keep
after that show was over, they went down.
Hot sauce.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with their life after that, man. So it's a shame. You gotta people. If you're signing a contract, I don't care how much you trust somebody or you think you trust somebody. Get yourself 2 lawyers. Get that shit read. Don't sign over your intellectual property for pennies. It ain't worth it. It's not for like 2 minutes of fame, and then you like drain your body like these dudes did. Yeah, they looked great, but then just in how good of a shape. I mean, they look pretty good for their age. To tell you the truth.
The most hilarious story that they told, and I love how they did the animation in between the stories.
Yeah, that was
to
cool.
Show what was happening.
Yeah, that was
but
cool.
the 2 guys that were friends that were beating each other's ass in the
street.
That
was hilarious. Yeah.
And the one bit the guy's face, and then that made him realize, oh shit, I went too far.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was like, yeah, you did go too far, and he punched him in his eye.
Those animations helped a lot. They really did help a lot, man. I want to see more of that, like that kind of melding of history.
You're right here, Hawk. Just say it out loud.
I'm trying to interrupt people. We're having conversations in the chat too. Relax.
No, but the most fascinating thing I found is that all these people were like wanting to be actors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you sign these contracts, you're out on the road and you're doing the most immoral shit.
Yeah.
And then you finally realize that they're basically not paying you what you're worth, and you're so shocked. I mean, that's the name of the game.
It's called conditioning.
They're not there to enrich you. Yeah. They are trying to enrich themselves.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what you said. If you're signing a contract, you need to know exactly what you're signing, what you're signing away.
Yeah. People will sign anything at the drop of like a dime just because they have a quick opportunity. They're like, if you give them a sliver of information that might not even be like a mountain, like just like a tip, right? Just like you get this much, and they're like, oh, I need that right now, but I don't know what else I'm giving up later. And you're like, wait a minute, you made how much money off me? Gosh, come on, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. So who wants to talk about Secret Invasion?
Yeah. He's over it. He hates when we talk about stuff that's not. You liked American Gladiators, though. What you tripping on? If this was basketball or football, you'd be like all down the, you'd be teabagging everybody talking about that shit.
No.
I mean, football season's coming up pretty soon.
Pause.
I'm just being honest. Like
Monday nights might get a little rougher.
To play ball
I'll
in the
just be sitting
conversation.
here like this, just watching the game like this.
That's what I'm saying. You want me to play ball in the conversation, Maybe I'll watch some foosball if you watch a couple fights, you know what I mean?
You call it foosball, it's over.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna call it what I'm gonna call it. You know what I mean? grown men throwing the ball around making more money than me. I'm gonna call that shit whatever I want to.
We could talk Secret Invasion if you guys want to do that.
Like I showed the intro, we had a couple people that were probably mostly right. I think Felicity's dead on with Olivia Colman being a Skrull, especially just because the attire she's wearing. I think I can bring up that picture again. Or maybe
hold on. Wait. Chill. Who sounds like that? I sound like them people. I gotta play the conversation back now. Wait, what did I say? Make you feel like that?
What?
Yeah, I lost me on that.
That is a whole other conversation.
Oh man, goddamn. What are we talking about now?
Secret Invasion. He's trying to bring up
There we
something.
go.
Oh, I see. Well, that's I'm gonna bring it back to the de-aging thing. I rewatched episode 1 this morning.
Special Ray, thank you. Appreciate you.
A contract they signed for the short term. Who signed contracts? Special Ray said, "Hey, hi Felicity, you rule." There you go. You got a fan.
Yes, that's what I was referring to.
Oh. Ray Hawk again. Oh my God.
So this looks a whole lot like a Skrull uniform, although she's holding a Skrull finger.
Interesting. I'm interested in what Chill's talking about. I'm not sure. I don't remember the stuff. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. No, I mean, I'm distracted by that now. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, go ahead.
I see that. So Olivia Colman here in the scene. We're getting back to Secret Invasion. Basically goes in, takes over a Russian interrogation of a Skrull.
She's a badass character too.
And you look at what she's wearing though, and she's wearing Skrull colors as she cuts a Skrull's finger off. Yeah, that looks dead on like a Skrull colors, and you can see like there's other parts of the show where like the Prime Minister of Britain is wearing like a green necklace, like similar, and she's a known Skrull. There's probably other ones I missed too, but the one thing though, if she is a Skrull, I'm thinking she's not on Gravik's team. Like maybe she's like Skrull
From
Resistance, whatever they might call her.
They mentioned that the Emperor, right?
They dropped the Emperor, so
yeah, they said there was a group
too.
Yeah, so maybe that's who she's working for. Maybe because that's the only other thing I would imagine. Because you got graphic side, and then you got Talos. Is it Talos or Talos? I don't know.
Oh, he's going to be dead by the end of the season anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not so sure. But,
he did say,
but no,
yeah.
We got that going on, and there's one thing that keeps bothering me too is right when Gravik and his squad roll up there, Gaia and the new dude, Beto or whatever, are sitting in the car. Gaia gets up and says she's going to check out back. We don't see anything or hear anything more about what she does. She's just back in the car when they come out to it. So it's like, did she meet up with this chick? Does she do something else? Like, what the hell happened there? We have no idea. So that's something that's probably going to come back later unless they just forgot about the 7th Fleet.
Well, wasn't she trying to figure out what was going on? Didn't she get some information before she got back in the car?
We don't see anything else she does. She just gets out of the car and then she's back in it when they come back to the car.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought that part had to do with her sneaking to see what the scientists were doing.
No, that was after. That's after they get back to the compound.
Okay. Gotcha. I gotta go back and watch it again. I might have missed that part.
Oh. Weird part. I noticed it right off jump, and I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, and then the other big talk that we had going on was about I'm like trying to remember now. It's been like a whole week, and I've just been hearing people talk about it. But
going back to your sorry, I want to add. You might be right because that interaction between her and Fury, I looked at it as like an interaction between a United States dignitary and like a foreign dignitary. But actually, now thinking that she's a Skrull, and he knows who a lot of the Skrulls are, probably. Maybe that was a thing too. Maybe
he planted that camera right away, so he's already been suspect of her.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, look at the tenor of their conversation. She was very like, "Oh, do you feel responsible?" And you know, I guess if she was a Skrull, like we are assuming, then maybe she would, be a little salty with him because he's not keeping his promise, his so-called promise.
I don't want to sound like a shill, but this actress sounds a lot like Rhodey in the way they talk to Fury, disregarding like his past, who he actually is. So they might be writing the Skrulls in kind of an obvious in our face kind of way. Some of them. I don't know.
I got a whole Rhodey talk I almost forgot about. So right after we get that conversation with Rhodey and Fury, right? And like Nick's basically attempting to like like use his heritage to get him to
help a
play
brother
the
out.
right?
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Come
he's a
on.
Skrull.
I hate
the
He's
it.
gotta
whole
be-
that serves a purpose, though, I believe. So
Yeah.
you notice the way Nick's saying brother. It's basically the Marvel way of saying something else. But then you notice the way Rhodey comes back and says brother, right? And then we also cut back to the Skrull Council during the episode, brother, sister. That's the way they refer to each other. And then also you cut back to that show nobody likes to talk about anymore, Falcon and Winter Soldier. When Rhodey's coming up to Sam when he meets him, he's giving up the shield. He's like, he calls him brother, not brother. Like he says the same way Fury does to him. So it's like somewhere in between there, he became a Skrull that didn't understand the lingo.
So you think that they've gone that deep? You think they've gone that deep with the?
Why else did they go back to that Skrull talk, like the Skrull Council, and purposely make him call her sister?
I wouldn't be surprised. I really feel like they need to stop with the social commentary that they're trying to infuse in this shit. It just makes it so dated and just tell me the story.
Yeah.
Stop trying to infuse this shit into it. It doesn't help your case. I
think they're trolling people. But you could also follow their Twitter account. For whatever reason, they pointed out season 2 or season 1 or whatever, Secret Invasion episode 2, and they point out the exact time frame where she's holding that Skrull finger, and they say like snip finger, and they hashtag Skrull, Olivia Colman, whatever. They don't say her name, but they say Skrull hashtag for it. So it's like the Twitter account is basically telling us she's a Skrull too, or they're just saying she cut a Skrull's finger off.
All right, I'm gonna dip. I gotta go. Go take care of the kiddo real quick. So I'll catch y'all next time.
All right, see you later.
Later, bro.
Oh, I gotta keep my eye on that private chat, huh?
Why didn't they release this episode along with the other episode? I feel like this was a better episode, and it would have set them up better, maybe gotten them a little bit more viewership. I still think I don't know where I'm going with the show overall. We got a little time, but I don't know. I think by the end of this, we're gonna just feel like this was Fury as an absentee father to his son who was rebelling against him. And I don't think that's a good way to be trying to tell the story.
Oh, like he's like that's how you think it ties in with his Skrull lover at the end there? Like they're looking after Gravik, and that makes sense actually, but
I hope they don't lean too hard with that, and I hope that Fury tries to always keep it like a platonic, like I'm the general, you're the soldier kind of thing, and maybe that the kid himself took it as a more personal thing because of when they first meet and like the head touching thing, like that's a spiritual Skrull thing, and he probably assumed like he's gonna be like my replacement dad. That's how I kind of took it, like how they were playing that whole thing. But I definitely think Gravik is going to take it a lot more personally than Fury does. But we'll see how sensitive they make Fury, I guess, to that fact.
You know what I thought was hilarious is people were questioning whether or not he knows his wife is a Skrull. And then the director came right out and says, talking about it. He's like, in the script, they know about it, but we decided to make it this way. It's like, why did you just tell us that?
Yeah. We all questioned it. We're like, wait, he went around the corner and then she was human again.
Yeah. And I don't know. But
do you prefer if those questions go unanswered?
For that,
like, not respond to that kind of shit and just let us speculate the whole time? Or
let the hype keep going for at least until next week. Give people something to talk about it. Don't accidentally tell people it was in the script while you're doing the interview.
Yes.
Blow it.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out there because I agree. I'd much rather speculate.
Well, I guess it helps with the storytelling because if Fury, who's supposed to be the most familiar with Skrulls, can't even tell that his own wife is a Skrull, that means we're all in fucking trouble then.
Right.
I'm actually tempted to like screen swipe that video I sent you guys from Mastertainment. Did you watch like any of that or all of that?
No, you got a theory to react to?
Yeah, I don't know.
I did watch it.
Someone also mentioned Fernie's theory. I don't know what that is either. I should react to
Fernie
both.
got a theory?
Yeah. Dan was saying.
Well, Fernie's not going to screenshot it, so let's just check
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, for me, I try not to watch a whole lot of theory crafting videos. I really just prefer to watch it myself and come up with my own shit.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the speculation and figuring out like who has what angle on this. Like I miss a lot of shit when I'm watching shows that other bigger channels pick up.
Was it the one about the wife?
I'm not sure. It was just a general.
You talking about the Fernie thing or Master
about Fury? About how Fury is Soman?
Yeah, I think that's. Let me see. Share it.
Well, how fucked up would that be?
That Fury is Talos' wife? Is that what you're saying?
Oh god.
Fake your death? Why? You got to make it make sense to me.
Here we go. Did I put the audio? I don't think I did the audio. Let me know if you hear it.
Crazy, but I think Nick Fury and
Secret
Invasion is actually
A little louder.
Thorin.
You want?
Nick Fury hasn't felt like himself this entire. I understand he got snapped away and the world's completely different, but he just seems really off. Like he's the type of character that even when he's 2 steps behind, he's 5 steps ahead. So what if that's actually not Nick Fury and it's a Skrull, specifically Soren? The show is trying to drill into our head that Soren is dead, but the thing is, they didn't show us how. They just told us. So what if Soren's death was fake, and she became the new Nick Fury on Earth? And the idea of Nick Fury being replaced is not a crazy idea. Talos was Nick Fury in Spider-Man Far From Home. And can we talk about how intimate it was when they first saw each other? Like, I know it's been a couple years and they've been doing the head thing since 1990 CGI, but man,
the fact that he just made himself a Skrull face.
The final thing is, I think Nick Fury said it himself.
I'm Nick Fury. Even when I'm out, I'm in.
This might sound crazy, but I think Nick Fury and Secret Invasion actually Talos' wife.
Interesting. Let's look at this Mastertainment one. I don't know if we'll get like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're just gonna claim
You would
it?
have to make all that make sense to me though. Like, why is Soren replacing Fury without telling Talos? Like, are they keeping tabs on Talos together?
I mean, look, there's like what he said, 1 million Skrulls.
Yes.
Why do you have to? I mean, why do you have to use that particular one to play this role? That just, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense to me. But hey, it's whatever.
So
Come up with theories. It's a thing.
I think if I run this, the worst that's gonna happen is like they're just gonna claim it, and I don't really care.
Dude, I don't think they even do that.
Yeah. Where is it? Here we go.
Welcome back to New Rockstars. It's me, MT, and what if I told you that Nicholas J. Fury has been lying to you? How would you feel if I told you that from the moment he stepped foot in Marvel's Secret Invasion, that he's been tricking every single person around him with a very convincing lie? The lie of the limp. But most importantly, I am so glad that Secret Invasion is finally here after all these years. Be sure to tune into New Rockstars every Wednesday for our Secret Invasion breakdowns and even more Secret Invasion discussion on our newest channel.
No free ads
Room,
here.
The Break Room. And of course, you can grab some of our awesome Secret Invasion inspired shop today. But anyways, unless you are faking an ear injury, you heard me correctly, okay? Nick Fury has been faking a leg injury this entire time. But don't worry, he's not trying to commit insurance fraud like the rest of us. I believe Nick Fury has been pretending to be a man in need of orthopedic surgery, specifically because of this one-man war he is about to wage against a shape-shifting race who have been living amongst humanity for decades. To put it simply, Nick Fury's leg is bait. By limping around in Secret Invasion, Nick Fury is executing one of the most classic and effective espionage techniques in the spy game, known as a canary trap.
Okay,
now,
this is what ruins his theory right here. Because if he's playing, why do this? Supposedly nobody is watching him right now. Why do this if you're already playing people?
Well, I saw that as he's more like shaken up after like, oh my god, damn, Rhodey really is a Skrull. You know what I mean?
I think he knows there's 1 million Skrulls on Earth and he's being watched.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. I don't know. You can take
he doesn't
either
trust
way.
anybody, not even Rhodey. You know,
I've been kind of skeptical since I watched this, trying to see which scenes he's like actually limping around into. So who knows? The theory. We'll roll with it for now.
Basically, it's a spy practice of spreading false information to specific people around you that you suspect to secretly be an enemy undercover agent, and then waiting for that false information to get leaked and make its way higher up your enemy's chain of command. But how could a technique like that help Nick Fury at this point in his life, you may be wondering? Well, to be honest, Secret Invasion would be the best time for the world's top spy to implement this famous spy technique against Gravik and his hidden Skrull invasion, specifically because it makes hidden Skrulls with human faces expose their true allegiances. And it looks like Gravik Skrulls fell into Nick Fury's canary trap pretty much immediately in episode 1.
Fury's in town, Jay. Is he? Our man says it's nothing to worry about. He's washed up, walks with a limp, can barely see out the good eye.
Like right away, during the very first scene that we are introduced to Gravik, Pagan informs his leader immediately about this piece of intel about Nick Fury's bad leg, and also tells him
but he
that
seems
one of the
skeptical,
Skrulls on the
like right
inside
away.
gave him said intel. Ladies and gentlemen, the canary trap has already been sprung. Literally, how did Pagan know that Nicholas J. Fury was walking around with a limp? Because
the other part of that too is it seemed like Gravik just had spies watching him wherever he went the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
If you look at the way Nick Fury walks around in that entire episode of Secret Invasion, his limp barely manifests at all, and he appears to specifically make an effort to hide said limp. This means
there's a biological reason for this.
Fury actively showed his limp to before Pagan tells Gravik about it was none other than his right-hand homie, Maria Hill. That's right, everybody. I believe that Maria Hill was a Skrull the entire time in that first episode of Secret Invasion, and that she has purposely been feeding information from Fury back to Gravik specifically so Gravik knows how to manipulate Nick Fury and Talos best. A Skrull Maria Hill is the only way Pagan could have gotten that information.
Did this come out before episode 2?
Nick Fury's canary trap.
Right after.
Oh, okay. So he's still thinking Maria was a Skrull even though she died, and it showed she didn't.
He's going to explain it.
Think back on the very small list of people that he showed his imaginary vulnerability to. And that's how you catch a Skrull, baby. Listen, gang, your enjoyment of Marvel's Secret Invasion will not be complete if you do not watch Inside Marvel on New Rockstar's new channel, all the Skrulls of the MCU. On the break room, you'll see all the new Rockstar spaces that you've come to love, as well as yourself. Join us for every episode of Secret Invasion as we pour over all the evidence to figure out who is and who isn't a Skrull. And if you don't want to miss it, at youtube.com/breakroomnr. We can also potentially see this Skrull Maria Hill at work as Nick Fury, Talos, and her listen in on Sonya Fallsworth's private conversation.
I mean, this just makes sense. You would think she'd be writing
get their bomb for the big Unity Day explosion.
But the immediate threat remains the bomb. 5 specialists in Moscow are capable of building such an explosive. My mind is on this one. Vasily Popryshin, former Chechen rebel, owns a high-end gallery in the city.
Then, the scene directly after this moment suspiciously shows Pagan assigning Gaia on a mission to meet the same person that Sonya Fallsworth mentioned in the recording. Now, while most people would think that Sonya Fallsworth was just coincidentally right on the money with the exact mysterious entity that the Skrulls could get their bomb from, I think that this is very unlikely, considering that Sonya Fallsworth only listed 1 out of a possible 5 entities that could have constructed the bomb. So realistically, there was only a 20% chance of Sonya being right. However, Nick Fury and Talos were coincidentally exactly on the money and found a Skrull impersonating Popryshin at his place of work, while also being coincidentally too late to stop Gaia from acquiring the bombs from Popryshin before them. I have a feeling that right after Sonya named Popryshin as someone who was good at making bombs, this fake Maria Hill sent that intel back to Pagan like she did with Nick Fury's leg and intercepted the real bomb maker before Gaia even got there. And a Skrull Maria Hill could also serve to explain why Nick Fury saw all those Skrulls at Unity Day impersonating people that he saw previously in the episode, like that rude guy from the bar that both her and Nick Fury went to.
Yep, definitely been watching him the whole
little
time.
Girl that he spent a good while awkwardly staring at after telling the fake Maria Hill that he was about to go take a walk in Russia while black. Very interesting choice, Nick Fury. Since she knew that he was about to go on this walk, the Skrull Maria Hill was probably stalking him close by before Sonya Fallsworth's mediocre bagmen stole Fury away. But most importantly, if Maria Hill was a Skrull during the entire course of the first episode, this means that she was probably planted there by Gravik to fake her own death to make Fury feel a massive amount of guilt. Because you got to remember, if they have the body of Maria Hill, they have Maria Hill's memories of her helping Nick Fury fake his death in Captain America 2. So they would be able to fake a fake Maria Hill.
Bro,
death.
if it was a squib?
But at any rate, Gravik
I thought about that. A lot of blood, though.
him along with this Maria Hill. The goal appears to be to
Yo, but that's like
and him thinking that Maria Hill
that's like 5 head.
Would do that. I would suffer if I was Nick Fury. The point is, Nick Fury has spent 3 decades spending time amongst the Skrull people and learning the techniques that they use to infiltrate planets and live in hiding. And although Nick Fury can't detect a Skrull with his eyeballs, his years of experience with these Skrulls taught him how to make a Skrull reveal their own damn self, especially since the Skrulls don't have the luxury of having all of Nick Fury's years of experience as the Earth's greatest spot. This is why I strongly feel that Nick Fury's canary trap of a bad leg is about to catch every single one of these enemy Skrulls by surprise once they realize that they've been had. But other than finding out Skrulls, another big reason why Nick Fury would want to fake his leg injury is primarily because he has resolved to fight this battle against the Skrulls completely alone, and even tells Rhodey as much after Rhodey suggests to call the Avengers.
Maybe we should call our friends.
No, we can't jump the gun on that. You know, the next thing you know, they find themselves duplicated and turned into terrorists. This is my war, Brody.
Like, Nick Fury is the greatest and most feared human spy on the planet, and he knows it. Because this dangerous man is fighting this battle alone, Fury does not want his enemies to be on high alert and be so worried about what he is going to do next. By giving his enemies the false idea that he can barely walk, this allows them to underestimate Nick Fury.
We're definitely getting that graphic.
That humanity's greatest protector could barely beat them to the mailbox in the morning. This gives Nick Fury so much more space to move and work freely and face far less resistance. Nick Fury faking this limp is truly the perfect spy technique to execute for Secret Invasion. Like, this dude's a genius. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. You can follow me at Mastertain.
Yeah, so it's either that or he just actually has a bum leg, you know?
He has arthritis. As the barometric pressure changes, you have, you know, sometimes you have pain and sometimes you'll limp, other times you won't, you know. So
well, the other thing I was thinking too is, like, if he's really in space for 2 years, like they say when astronauts come back down to Earth, like you like shrink back down, you know what I mean, because of the gravity, and like it can be affecting him. So that's where my logic went as far as why he limped.
Isn't that exactly what Felicity was trying to explain to you? The barometric.
Yeah, no. But the thing is too is that conversation between Rhodey and Fury in that restaurant. There could have taken, you know, a moment to say something about Tony in that conversation. You know that you have a segment of fans that still miss that guy and want him back in here somehow. You can't say just a few words about the guy that you both had a relationship with.
We got to get real Rhodey back first.
He would have the same memories, though, right?
Yeah, but this seems like a douchey Skrull.
Yeah, he's trying to make Nick Fury. They're trying to isolate Nick Fury mentally. If Rhodey is a Skrull, they're trying to make him feel like he literally has no resources or friends at all in this fight.
Yeah, I mean the guy that's got the most freaking knowledge about the Skrull race, you want him out. Plus he is like, the dude makes a point. He's like the most dangerous man on the planet, basically, with how much knowledge he has. But
yeah, he's the only one that really knows the Skrulls are there.
I just don't think the real Rhodey would fire Nick Fury. I mean, that's just a dumb move. Come on.
Not a chance.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe, hey, like straight up ask him what happened instead of just saying what he did wrong. Like the whole time, it was ridiculous. It's cut and dry. Rhodey's a Skrull. So I mean, the Olivia Colman one is more confusing because she's a Skrull, but she's clearly not on their side. Or she's playing like a really crazy long game that I don't understand yet, basically. But I think this show's just going to keep getting better each episode, to be honest with you. Might be a little bit of slow burn, but I think it's going to work out in the end.
Oh, please stop saying slow burn, because that shit
even the slow burn, though, like each episode has had us asking new questions about the same character, Nick Fury. So I think they're going to just keep evolving this twists and turn stuff, even with like the Skrull wife thing. Like if that's a reveal we get in episode 2, like crazy.
Yeah, man. But
do you think we're gonna get into the president stuff next soon? The attack on him, like I just don't know where all that fits in. Like, is it the end of the season or
think it'll be like second to last episode.
Yeah.
Penultimate one. That's when you kill them all, you know.
I don't know. I feel like the finale's got to. I feel like the finale has to go kind of hard if all we're gonna get is what we've seen from trailers and things like that. There's got to be some big surprises. I feel like in the show.
Yeah, but is it gonna make you want to go out and see the Marvels?
I don't know. I think it's gonna be more hyped for Secret Wars and Armor Wars. Like I think that's where it's gonna lean. As far as like post credit or any type of hints, it's gonna be more Rhodey's story, the Armor War, the new Cold War, like Vibranium, even that kind of stuff.
Oh, you don't think Carol Danvers shows up in the last episode?
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna go that cosmic route with her. I think she's gonna just show up in the movie. I don't know if she'll be in this.
I definitely think though it's kickstarting like new Captain America, Armor Wars, the Marvels, possibly more we don't know about yet or just don't understand the tie-ins yet. And I mean, like people's big complaint with this is we're not getting a bunch of superheroes, we're not getting any of that. It's like just enjoy the moment, man. Like we're chilling with Nick Fury right now. It's like I get like the comic book story is way bigger, but we still don't have the ability to do that yet. Like even if they took who we had right now, it wouldn't line up and make sense. That I would have maybe preferred if they tried doing this story like after they got mutants involved, like just held it off maybe a few more years. But at the same time, who's to say they can't try doing something like that again? I don't know. We'll see. You know, like with Civil War, they can do the same thing too. They could do another Civil War if they want to. But we'll
ultimately the Skrulls have been here for what 30 years. Like we could get new revelations in movies we've already seen that we didn't know was a thing. Like Skrulls have been here. We could just have an Avenger we thought was an Avenger be a Skrull the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what makes it hard to theorize and speculate because literally everybody and anybody could be a Skrull.
But speaking of arthritis, Felicity's probably getting. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's already. We went to 11 here, folks. We gave you damn near 2 hours again. I don't know how this keeps happening, but whatever. I'm cool with it.
You need those watch hours.
I know we're getting damn close. I'm telling you, like days away from full monetization. I'm a little bit excited, but
nice.
That's where you see me start cranking out like a short every day, or possibly like multiple shorts a day. So I don't know if I'm excited. We'll see if the money comes in. But anyway, yeah, I don't got much else to talk about. We missed anything? Anything you guys want to talk about at all?
I'm surprised that you guys didn't want to talk about the Dune 2 trailer.
Did see that?
Ooh. Well, you scared me off thinking about like, yeah, they probably will strike me if I try playing that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not the trailer. Don't show it, but I mean, you know, you could probably talk about it.
Dune,
if you want to.
Dune does look good. I wish I knew more about it. Like
Same.
I know like the overview, and I know that a lot of it, like it's evident. Like you can watch the first one, you see how much it inspired a lot of other stuff. Like Game of Thrones, Star Wars, first to come to mind. But I just hope they do it way better than like the 80s movies did that I hear so many lovely things about.
Shut your mouth, man. That is classic. I still they haven't brought me over to their side yet with this newer Dune. I still favor the Lynch version over what they gave us the last time. So hopefully they'll put me over. The chemistry between Zendaya and Chalamet is not working for me at all. But everything else looks good.
Yeah, that could still, like, you're getting baby Paul in the first one for the most part, though. So, like, the second one, it looks like we might get, like, it looks like it's about to pop off. Like he's about to turn into a man, basically, finally, you know? So maybe
the actor's so good.
Yeah, maybe that will get Felicity's juices flowing a little bit more.
Whatever.
Not like Craven, but I'm just saying, maybe.
Yeah. That's what, October? Oh, can't
She's
wait.
got the calendar. She's checking off the days.
That's what you needed. You needed that dude to play Paul.
Look,
Would've been all in.
I'm telling you, and you know it's true, Nerd Mafia. If Haley Atwell had been Helena Shaw rather than Phoebe Waller-Bridge, we'd be having a whole different conversation, you know. But you know,
I mean, I'm actually considering going to watch Mission Impossible just because I saw that she's in it. So.
Oh yes, I heard it's really good. I'm definitely hyped for that movie.
I don't know why she's not in more stuff, to be honest with you. You start seeing pictures of her like without her Captain Carter uniform on. You're like, oh my God, look at what you're hiding under that. Like, okay, why are you not like a super mega movie star right now? I don't understand, but whatever. Good secret kept, you know.
Wow, only 50 days till Ahsoka. Crazy.
Oh yeah, whatever.
I cannot wait until it's all about Ahsoka. We can just start diving into Star Wars again and maybe talk about positive stuff instead of who hates Kathleen Kennedy the most. To be honest with you. But I'm actually on that note too. I just I'm going through the Canon Thrawn novels right now, and I just finished yesterday Thrawn, and I'm like 50 pages deep into Thrawn Alliances, and that's pretty cool. Like the first Thrawn, it like gives you like kind of basically his backstory starting from when the Empire picks him up. And the cool thing about that book is that like it gets you rooting for Thrawn in the Empire a little bit reading it. And the second one is going to give me more of like him and Anakin's relationship when like they interacted. So it's kind of like going back between two timelines. Pretty cool. But I'm excited. I don't know who cares about what I just said, but I'm having a fun time with that, trying to run through those 3 books before Ahsoka starts. And I'm all in, man. All in.
Wait, so are you physically reading it, or are you doing the audio?
Yeah. No, I'm reading it. I'm like going nuts with it. It's pretty fun. Like old man, got my little flashlight for my book hooked up so I don't wake up the wife.
Oh,
she starts talking to me. I'm like, shh, you see what I'm doing right now? Like, leave me alone. No, I don't want to get laid tonight. Okay, just back off. Like that doesn't happen. Never said that before out loud, but
This is usually the part where he just cuts everybody off and plays the outro.
Yeah, pretty much.
No idea what you guys are talking about.